Hello everyone, welcome to Titan Academy. In this video we will demonstrate working with the Titan Excel Addin. Alright, so before we start and install the Titan Addin for Excel, we will head over to our account and make sure we are authenticated with Salesforce. So I'm at my account, push settings logs, and right now I'm not authenticated, so I'll grant access to my Salesforce environment. And if you want to use the Excel with Salesforce, with the Form Titan package for Salesforce, then first you'll have to make sure you have it in your account, in your Salesforce environment. If not, click this link to install the package. After you've installed the package, you want to make sure that your API is enabled and you've granted submission access. Next up, you'll head back to the DocGen SSO and hit the save. Once you got the updated message, you're ready to go. Alright, so let's head back to our Excel, and the first thing we'll do is install the Titan add-in for Excel. So we'll head over to Insert, Get Add-ins, and we'll search for Titan, and we'll add it to our Excel. Once it's added, you'll need to log in, and I'm already logged in here. So let's sign out and I'll show you how this looks like, so you can sign in with Salesforce as well. And I'm just going to pause this and verify, and we'll continue from there. I have two-factor authentication, so you can see that I'm a collaborator on many accounts. I'm going to select my main account, and we're ready to go. All right, so our first screen is Build, where we can either insert fields from an object or insert tables. Let's start with inserting a field. So this is very similar. If you're familiar with the Word Addin, the Titan Word Addin, it's very similar to that. So we'll select our object, and we'll say, let's say we want to bring in an account. So we'll say get account data. It's very important to write a comment, and we can insert, let's say we'll bring in the account name, the account type, and let's say the SLA of the account. We'll insert these fields, and after we've inserted these fields, let's do a table. So we'll insert a table. Let's say we want to bring in contact information. And get contacts of the account. And you can change the table name, play with it however you like. Notice we have detailed videos about all of these. Just take a look at this. It will tell you the information, where it starts and where it ends in the range of the Excel. Let's bring in last name, and we'll do first name, and we'll do email, and let's put a phone number, and we'll insert a table. Let's make these a little bigger. A great feature of the Excel Addin that you can preview the document directly from here. So before you use it any further, you would like to preview it. And it's also a great way of just bringing data and doing functions and stuff, Excel functions directly from here. You can hit preview, and similarly to the Word Addin, you need to filter your data. So let's say we want to bring in an account from Salesforce. So let's grab an account from Salesforce. Let's say this guy, and we can see we have 6 contacts under this account. So I'll say account ID equals this, and I'll save my condition. Notice that I'm bringing the first match I found. And in this filter of the contact, I'll say account ID equals my first query, and we'll grab the account ID from there. We'll hit save, save our condition, and let's preview it. That will open a new Excel with our data mapped. So we have the account name, the type, and the SLA level. And again, you can write these in a different column just to make sure you know what it is you're mapping. And here is our table. And on this, you can do like for any functions you like. You can do it before you generate the Excel, etc. Another way to work with this is also you can work with multiple sheets. So let's say in this sheet, we want to bring in opportunity data. So let's insert a table. And we'll select our object. So let's say opportunity. And we'll bring everything. So that will be the name. And you can bring in, let's say, the stage, the amount, and let's bring in the close date. Insert the table, make it a little bigger. And it goes without saying, so you can add more columns and you can work with any object in Salesforce. Let's head over to our preview, and then on the filter, I'm just going to remove it and bring in 100 opportunities back. I'll save my condition, and let's say on the amount you can do something like sum, and then let's sum up whatever is here. And let's hit the preview. And here is our data. And we have our function. I put it a little bit too low, but you see the possibilities here. All right, so let's say you want to take this and you want to put it to be able to be generated from Salesforce or to be generated from a form. So we'll head over to publish, and here you have the option to upload to a new form or to an existing form. In our instance, we'll publish it to a new form. So let's click publish to a new form, and we'll say Titan Academy Excel, and we'll publish. And I'll head over to my Titan account, and I'll log in. I'm just going to grab my two-factor. And we're in. And we can already see our form here. And one important thing to do, and I'll demonstrate what happens when you don't do it in just a moment. So we have here automatically the hidden for record ID. And if we'll take a look at the get, Titan automatically, let's just make sure we're authenticated with production. Titan automatically adds these gets for you. Notice that they're using custom action button. They're there just to describe which objects you're working on. All right, so this is great. We'll head over to our document generation, Excel mapping, configure, and notice the question marks. You have everything here. You have a video explaining what every function does. In our instance, we will select first of all the record ID, and you can preview with Microsoft or with Google, and we will do preview before submit and auto preview so we can preview it on the actual document. Next up, we'll show the Salesforce button as well and how to connect it to your Salesforce. So we'll hit apply, we'll save a form, and I'll publish. And notice that the record ID, the field ID of this record is, if I'll head over to the element, is FLD2. All right, so we'll publish this. I'm just gonna grab this URL, grab a new tab, and pass in an account since this is our main object. So I'll grab the account ID and equals to this guy, and let's see our preview. Okay, so let's go to the first sheet and notice this, that we got a bunch of contacts. We basically got almost all the contacts we have in the system. And the reason for this is that we didn't configure the filter for publish. So even though you configured your preview filter, you still have to configure your publish preview. And I'll show you how this looks like. So this is our main object. Whatever is first, this is the object that you're starting from. So I'll take a look at the account, and the condition should be account ID equals a record ID. Next up on the filter, what we want to do is account ID equals, just like we've done for the preview, we want to do the same for the publish. So this is very, very important. We'll save our condition, and the opportunity we have no condition, we just want to bring in everything, and that's perfect. So we will click publish to an existing form, and we'll select our form and we'll publish the template. We'll do override. And now if we'll head back and refresh, we should see our data in the correct way. So we'll head over to sheet 1, and here we have 6 contacts, just like we have on our account. So that's perfect. Just notice that we get Edge C here, even though we passed in United Oil and Corp. So let's head back to, and again, I'm failing this for a reason, just to emphasize how important it is to configure your filters on the publish. So I'll head back to the filter, and you can see that this filter is empty. So right now it's just grabbing the first account. So what we want to do here is account ID equals record ID. Hit save, save condition, publish our template again to the existing form. We'll do override. And now, if we will refresh, we will see our data accordingly. There it is. We have United Oil. We have the contacts under United Oil. That's perfect. Now, let's head over to our push, Salesforce integration push, and say we want to push this document to the account once it's generated. So we will say a file, you can add an attachment, and just keep in mind that from here you can like update the account whenever you submit this form, etc. You can do a lot of things in your push. So we'll say create the file, and let's map our fields. We will say you can give it a dynamic title, static title, whatever you want. Let's just do first published location ID equals our record ID hidden, and our version data, which is the Excel file in our instance, to the Excel mapping. Let's give the title something static, and we'll do other. We'll say Excel doc. Apply and finish. We'll save our form. And let's publish this guy again. So we'll refresh. And on the preview window, once I hit continue, it will generate my document. So you can have a ton of stuff on your form. You can have your user fill in data, and then when you click the submit button, it will preview before the submit. Right now it's running on auto submit just so we can see it. So if I'll click continue, and we will head over to our integration logs, we can see that we have submit Excel and our file was created. So if I'll head over to my account and refresh it, and let's take a look at the files here. Hopefully it will let us preview, and it does not know how to preview with the Excel format. So let's just download this properly, and we'll open it in our Excel, and there we have our data. Perfect. Now let's see how we can generate this directly from Salesforce. So what we want to have here is our FT generate button on the account, and once you click it, we want to see our document to be able to generate this. So first thing I will do, I see I do not have the FT generate button on the account layout, so let's edit the object, and we'll head over to page layouts, and I think I'm on this layout, so I'll select the account layout, and I'll head over to mobile lightning actions, and we'll search for FT generate document. And here it is. We have two of them. One of them is for the classic, the custom button. We want to use the custom action. It looks a lot better in the lightning environment. So let's put it over here, and we'll save it. Let's refresh our account, and I'll click the FT generate document. And I do not see the Excel here. The reason for this is you can decide in Titan which forms are exposed to what user in Salesforce. So in order for you to do so is if we'll head over to the account settings, collaborators, I'm just going to remove this guy. I'll show you how this can be done. So you can do it in two ways. Let's say you want all users from a certain profile to have access to a certain form. So let's say system administrators, and we have detailed videos about this and how to set this up. Let's say you want all system administrator to access whatever files you have. So you give them submit permissions, and you can do it also with DocSign. And once you hit apply, it will give all these profiles the permission to access these files and to generate them from within Salesforce. And also you can go back to these profiles and edit the file permissions. Another thing you can do is add specific user from Salesforce. So let's say you want to add this guy, and we'll hit next, and then you can give them submit access to whatever it is you want, and you hit apply, and the collaborator is added. Once it's added, and then later on you added more documents and you want to give them access, so you just click on the collaborator, you hit next, head over to submissions, and from here we'll give access to the Titan Academy Excel. We'll hit update, and once I head back to my Salesforce and I'll click FT generate document again, here is our Excel file. So from here you can do generate, you can email, and it automatically maps it here. You can see it says mapping.xlx. What you will do if you want to control these names of the attachment, and there is a lot of settings over there, and there is a video for every single setting, so just feel free to click the question marks and I'll show you what everything does. So we'll head over to the Salesforce button. We can see that it was already enabled automatically, but just in case it wasn't, then you will need to select your account, map your record ID, what is the main record ID of the main object that you're running, where you're doing your first get from. And from the custom file name, you can select the file that will show on the email. And again, watch out for these question marks. And the filter, I'm just going to talk about the filter for a little bit. So the filter can let you filter on which, in our instance it's an account, on which object you want this document to appear. So you can say, for instance, only account of a certain record type, I want this form, I want this document, and on different record type of accounts I want a different document, or if anything here matches your criteria, this pulls in data directly from your object, and you have the operator equals, not equals, equal case, not equal case, and you can do your filter logic directly from here. These are packed with features. Again, feel free to explore. All right, next up, let's talk about what happens when you generate a document. So if I'll head back over here, and let's close all the not relevant windows, and I'll hit generate, what will happen is it will run whatever you have in your submit on that form. So for instance, let's head back to our Salesforce integration, to the push settings. Right now, we're just creating a file and pushing it to Salesforce, but you could also have an update to the account or create records or whatever it is. So let's do a quick update to the account, and we'll do update, set conditions, and we'll say account ID equals our record ID, and let's map our fields. Let's say we'll do something static. Let's see what we can update in the account. So let's close this. Say we will update the account number. Okay, so instead of CD, we'll do FF. Okay, so we'll do account number. And we'll do other. It's really silly what I'm doing, but just showing you the concept here. And we'll do apply and finish. And let's save this guy. And we'll head over to our account and we'll click the FD generate document. And from here, I'll hit the generate button. And let's head over to our integration logs and see what's happening. So the first thing we see is a request from Salesforce. So Salesforce Button, the Salesforce user requested to do something on this record ID from this document. We'll refresh this in a second. This is entering our queue right now. And once the document is generated, mapped and generated and pushed to our Salesforce, since this is what we had in our push to Salesforce, it will also update the account since we had that in our push as well. So if we will refresh this, we can see that a file was created and the account was updated. So if I'll head back to my account, and let's close this and I'll refresh this window, and let's take a look at the details, and we can see that our account number was updated to what we had it do. So this is just to illustrate that whatever you have on your push, and I cannot stress this enough, once you generate, you create an object, you update multiple objects, whatever it is you're doing, it will run. All right, so let's see a couple more functions here. So you can do also view document, you can preview it, you can preview it directly from here. So your preview window will open just like we've done before, and that will let you preview the document before you generate it. And this is how it's done.